Thanks, listeners. You're joining us for our city edition of Elko Live here on KELK today. We appreciate our guest in studio, and that is our Assistant City Manager, Dale Johnson, joins us to bring us up to date in advance of this afternoon's regular council meeting. Welcome back, Dale Johnson, today.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. It's been just a week ago, so... Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, and obviously settled well into your new position, and so it's great to have you on the radio. You have a lot of information in depth about a lot of the infrastructure, not only just the things that are on the agenda, but things that have been ongoing in the city sometimes for years, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will look over the agenda beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And among the items, there'll be some discussion of a gang diversion and enforcement project grant for the city police department, right, Dale?
Yeah, there's a ratification item on there to ratify the PD applying for that grant. And then later on down in the agenda, the council will have the option to accept that $55,000 grant.
We'll have to find out with our police chief. Kyle Ward is scheduled to be a guest on Elko Live on Thursday here alongside our sheriff, Aitor Narveza. I'm sure he'll explain that in detail, but do you know anything about it just off the bat?
I know it's a yearly grant that we do go out for and try to get, and it's used for, I believe it was gang violence, things like that. Not that you don't really see gang violence in Elko, but maybe this is the reason why. Maybe this is the
reason why. Yeah, that's always good news. So I'm sure the chief will tell us more about that. Sometimes it can go for equipment. Sometimes it can go for, the special unit that they have, for example, in the crime diversion unit, which has also been very instrumental in protecting people's private property.
Yeah, the PD does a great job of going out and getting grants, and then obviously on the backside of that, they do a great job policing our city. So
yeah, we appreciate that. It's very proactive. Also on the agenda today, I guess we're skipping around a little bit, but if we need to come back, I'm sure we can do that, Dale. And there will be a presentation to Bill Killian. He's a local pastor. And Bill, I can't believe it's been 25 years, well, more than 25 years, as the Elko Fire Department's fire chaplain, which is a really important position.
It is an important position, especially when there's things happen in the community and firefighters and police officers and, overall EMS are involved in it. Bill's done a great job. He's been I was back on the department for Lee Engine Company a number of years ago, and Bill was there then, so he's been dedicated for 25 years now, so
I think
great accomplishment.
It's a wonderful accomplishment. Congratulations, Pastor Killian. During his tenure, again, he supported so many families as well as individuals, and it's a great opportunity to really thank him for his decades of service and whatever he might be set off to do for the future, Bill. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's time for his retirement, it sounds like. So,
wow, that's
good
amazing.
Luck to him.
Yep, the very best to Bill Killian. You'll be introducing some new employees, which is always nice because I see a couple it looks like all three are in water, sewer, the wastewater reclamation facility.
Yep, there's 3 new ones down there. 2 of them are water sewer operators in training, and one's a WRF technician trainee.
And there are qualifications for these positions. You have to have specialized training. It's just there's a lot that goes into these positions, right?
Yeah, on both sides of the house down there, the water and sewer, and then the WRF, the operators have to have state certifications. So as they're doing their operations and training, they'll be trained, and then within 6 months they should be testing at the state level, and hopefully they would pass those tests, and at 1 year they'd be an operator.
Wow, that is pretty extensive, and so there is obviously a lot of science involved with this position and being a technician.
There is, again, on both sides. The WRF handles all the wastewater side of things, so there's a lot of things that have to go into the environment with treating wastewater as it goes back into our aquifers and things like that. So it's a very technical position there. And then again, with the water side of things, we have to have potable, clean drinking water. So again, there's lots of testing involved in that, and sometimes some treatment techniques and things like that.
So could be an exciting career. So happy to help introduce those three folks. They'll be recognized during the meeting. Renata Freiberg, Blake Sorensen, and David Brown. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, I didn't want to squeeze out, but there's going to be a presentation, although no action, but from Travel Nevada. And the CEO of Travel Nevada is going to be on hand to talk about what Travel Nevada has been doing to promote the entire state, as well as their work with the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority.
Yeah, that's a ongoing deal. Travel Nevada is actually here in town today at the convention center, and that's where our city manager is attending that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the presentation brings about. And
yeah. A lot to look forward to, I think. And Travel Nevada has been helping, I think, with some rebranding efforts, or at least in concert with what the ECVA, our E-Center, is doing. They are the official Visitors Authority for the state of Nevada, and they do collect tax revenue, and then they turn that around to bring visitors and to host many local events in our public facility. So,
yep, it should be an interesting presentation at 4 o'clock.
Yes, definitely today. City Council does meet in regular session. And then this is exciting. Under new business, possible authorization for staff to solicit the request for qualifications for the animal shelter expansion, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We're looking for qualified architecture professionals to look at the new design of a new animal shelter. The current shelter is outgrown itself probably a couple times over now. So it's a good project that hopefully we can get constructed in the future.
And we know that Vivian Wright, who is a volunteer with LASSO, the local animal shelter support organization, which is the nonprofit fundraising arm of the Elko City Animal Shelter. It was founded years ago when Curtis Calder was still the city manager. And if it were not for LASSO, Dale, I know you know all this, we wouldn't be able to spay and neuter the animals that we do and prevent countless litters and then the pet overpopulation problem that we've had.
Yep, that's a fact there. LASSO does a great job with that funding source, and not only do they fund that program, they fund a lot of different things there at the animal shelter, and they're going to be a big part of this new facility when it's constructed.
In fact, they're fundraising, and I know Vivian wouldn't mind me reminding you to collect your aluminum cans, to take those to an enclosed space at the animal shelter. Make sure they're in plastic bags, please, and then they will take those and recycle them. You can also take bigger, heavier metals, old cars and things like that, and donate them as well to the animal shelter, because they need to raise like 6 to 9 million, I think. You know?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
There's a big funding campaign going on, and anything will help.
And what I hope people understand and realize, just like the partnerships that we've formed over the years with, say, the Boys and Girls Clubs, when you pair with a nonprofit, they can get more for the donation. So, for example, with LASSO teaming up with the city to expand the animal shelter, it's a private nonprofit pairing with the city municipality. So, and I know it can be political, but it's a way to save money and not have to pay prevailing wage on some of these multi-million-dollar projects.
That's correct. And they're able to leverage the funds a lot easier than the city could, or
absolutely,
with rates and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So. Being a nonprofit, and again, it's because this is a greater burden on smaller communities. Sometimes projects don't get built unless you do have a nonprofit.
That's right.
So.
Yep. Prevailing wage from the city's end could run a project up by 35% or more. So having these partnerships is a great way to get things done.
And Dale Johnson would know that. He's our assistant city manager and has spent many years of his career and also facilitating in his previous role as our utilities director, those multi-million-dollar water sewer projects, which we'll squeeze in any updates on those too, because that's always exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we got time for that, we can definitely give some updates.
Definitely.
On what's going on.
That spells growth as well. And as you mentioned, under new business, accepting that criminal justice grant on behalf of the police department. Looking ahead to, this is the planning service agreement between the city for the airport focus planning study phase 2. And I think this was on the agenda before, right? Or
I don't remember if it was phase 1 that was on there before or phase 2, but
I think you're right.
With this phase, they're expecting a 6-month timeline to complete the planning study for the airport. Kaufman's has done a good job with phase 1, and we expect they'll do the same on phase 2.
And will they help us look at things like how to use some of the perimeter properties, or just look at, we do know that the FAA has some stipulations, right? They'd like us to look at relocating some things.
Yeah, they are looking at relocating some things on the airport. Jim knows quite a bit about those items, and
we will have you on the radio, Jim, when the time is right. Yeah. I think that's important too. But the city does need to facilitate this, because we do get money from the FAA to help in planning and to help in the infrastructure.
Yep. Without these focused planning studies, we wouldn't be able to apply for that FAA funding. So, and that's critical for our airport.
So I heard nothing but wonderful things about Sky Fair 2025, and looking forward. They're already going to be meeting soon and planning for the next bigger, better event. But it's also important to realize that we need to fly Elko and support SkyWest and the air service that we do have, the commercial air service too.
That's correct. Our commercial air service, the Air Alliance subsidizes that currently, and any funding for that flight service is a benefit, and utilizing our daily and nightly trips in and out of Elko is definitely a benefit.
Yes, Dale's talking about the Flight Alliance of Northeast Nevada, and that's made up of municipalities and business groups. There's a board of directors, and they're soliciting support as well as financial support, but actual legislative support, so that we can eventually gain connectivity, so we can fly within our own state, from Elko to Reno, Elko to Vegas, for example. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Not happening to drive over to Reno or down to Vegas.
Exactly. So in the meantime, please do fly your connecting flight. Your Delta flight will get you to and from Salt Lake City International, and that's where you can take flights to anywhere in the world practically, including getting on another plane and flying back into Nevada to Reno or Vegas. So
that's correct.
That's how you do it. So we can at least accomplish that, and we do have the new midday flights. So please do fly Elko, visit the website, book your trips. The holidays are coming, and that's a great opportunity to lock in some of those good prices. So let's see if we're moving ahead, and we're moving right along the agenda today. Public hearing. This will be to adopt some of the exceptions to the transportation and disposal of our municipal solid waste. So that's essentially the garbage trucks that come around and pick up your trash. There's a franchise agreement with Elko Sanitation in place. Yeah,
there's some unclear language in the current ordinance that we're trying to clear up, so it directly aligns with the franchise agreement. Which will give a better service to the community, and there won't be any question on who's able to haul within the city limits, and that's the big thing.
So because it is a franchise, and this is the way that it was established, before we had any organizations or businesses that were interested in serving the city with trash collection. So it may have been in the city's favor at the time to establish this exclusive agreement. But will these new codes open that up in the future, Dale?
So the exclusive agreement is currently a 5-year agreement with the 5-year extension that they can ask for at the end of that first 5 years. In the future, we did include a section in the code where multiple vendors could be solicited for the municipal solid waste service. So we could go both routes. We could have one or more companies. We could, again, go with an exclusive franchise agreement, but the code allows for both now going forward.
Okay, so there may be some discussion that's under public hearing, and this is the second reading of the ordinance, right?
Yeah,
Dale?
this is the second reading. What I was just discussing is not part of this current ordinance revision, but that was part of a existing ordinance we did back in June.
Okay. And then the one question that I do get a lot, and I just can't believe we haven't talked about it yet, is is our recycling program still vibrant, or what do you know about recycling?
Elko Sanitation still has the recycling program. They're the blue tipper cards that are out in the community, and they still manage that program there at the down at their local office.
And so, as far as we know, it is being recycled.
Yep.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, they ship things out.
Okay.
It's not recycled here in the city, but they do have a recycle truck that comes out and picks stuff up.
Oh, good. That's important for the community to know, because I think at times when the market wasn't good, for example, we understood that maybe there was some recycling that was being withheld or something. But yeah.
Yeah, my understanding in discussions with Elko Sanitation, that program is fully operational.
Okay. But again, remember that if you take your aluminum cans out of your recycling and put them in a little separate sack or something, you can give those to the animal shelter.
Yep, and they will have those recycled and be able to use those funds for the new facility.
Yes, and it really, really adds up, because apparently this town likes its soda and other things.
Yeah.
So keep that recycling going again, and deposit those cans in the recycling container at the Elko Animal Shelter over there on Pinion Road. Let's see. Oh, then the other one is also a second reading for the enforcement code. This puts a little more teeth into the work that, is it Ramon is doing?
Ramon.
Yes.
Yep, Ramon's our code enforcer, and this revision to the existing code allows him to enforce all 9 chapters instead of the 3 that was previously in the code. So the 6 additional chapters. With those, they typically have a manager, director, or appointed official over that department that could enforce a code. He would work under their direction to be the enforcement official for anything they needed.
Now, we know, Dale, that not only Elko, but Nevada as a whole, we're a pretty independent state. And so it's tough sometimes for people to be reminded of what the best thing to do is, right, with their property.
Yeah, and what we see a lot, Ramon works directly for the development manager who works under my supervision. So I deal with the code enforcement quite a bit, and what we've seen is simple letters and talking and working with people usually resolves any of the issues before anything else comes of it. So,
and it's nice because now we do have businesses, for example, that are licensed within the city, and they can actually come and do some work, because sometimes people are just overwhelmed, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And a lot of it is people just don't know if something they're doing is wrong. And once you point it out to them, they resolve it. So
that can, so if you are a neighboring property, maybe all your avenues have failed baking brownies and saying, could you please, contact the city, and there's a form you can fill out online. It's super easy.
There is a form online that's pretty easy to fill out, and it can be submitted, and Ramon will get that the next day and be able to open a case on it.
All right. Could be everything from abandoned vehicles to vehicles that are parked for too long to, yards that are to the point beyond being just messy, but, they could be hazardous. There could be stray cats running in and out, a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, a lot of the things we see is the parked vehicles on the street, travel trailers on the streets, excessive trash piling up, things like that. And Ramon does a great job of working with the homeowners and residents and gets that stuff taken care of.
And speaking of taken care of, we haven't seen the Grant Avenue properties on the agenda for a while. Did that get resolved, Dale?
It did. again, that was another deal that it went a little further past code enforcement. It went all the way through city council, but yeah, that property's been cleaned up. It seems to be looking pretty well, and they've been able to manage some of that going forward. So
That's really good news. I know, too, we're veering off agenda a little bit, but there's really only a couple more things in time for the 4 o'clock meeting. But the Elko Inn has been on the auction block, and I don't know if there are any updates other than maybe waiting for the clock to run out.
just waiting for the clock to run out to see what happens with that one.
Yeah, so just so listeners are aware, the derelict property there at 8th and Idaho, it's very sad. It used to be this beautiful motel property, really a pride and joy of previous owners, and now it's just so run down. But the city is poised to purchase it for taxes and then decide what's the best use.
If that option is available at the end of the time period, then that would be something the city would strongly look at doing.
All right, that's already been on the agenda, and it's part of the public process, so it's very transparent.
And it would be the RDA that would be purchasing that property.
Oh, that's right. Our redevelopment agency, which the buck stops with council, but we do have a separate entity, and they work with our city planner and business owners. Certainly, there's a lot of consideration that goes into RDA.
Yep, there's a lot of things the RDA can do under their rules and guidelines that the city can't. So the RDA could pick that property up and either sell it, work with other entities, hoteliers, things like that, on a bid proposal, and to try to get that up and running, or completely refurbished. They could demolish it. There's a number of things that could happen.
Yeah, but that's the point, is that something could happen in the future, and it will be a good thing. It will be much better than what we have been faced with. We also heard good things from our city clerk, Annette Robinson, during the previous council meeting, that properties that had been in arrears on either water bills or taxes, they're coming current.
Yeah, some of those are coming current. It's nice to see.
Yeah, that's important. That money goes back into the infrastructure, and the room taxes, that goes into the recreation fund in particular.
Yep. And then water fees go into the water fund, so that also helps their fund.
Yeah, so it's great when they're able to be current, and it also suggests that the economy's in better shape. So, and that's what we all wish for. So, because we do have wonderful small businesses and large businesses combined, but we visit monthly with our Elko area chamber, Dale, and we just want to do everything we can as a community to help support our businesses.
That's right. Spending local keeps those tax dollars local. So
yeah, and it helps to feed into some of the general improvement district, which I promised if there was anything new. I mean, we're creeping closer to October, and the RDA sidewalk project, how that's going?
Yeah, RDA sidewalk project's going pretty well. Again, they've installed quite a bit of concrete. They're getting 2 trucks a day now. So concrete's going down a little faster than it has in the previous month or month and a half. We're hoping to start grinding the asphalt next week and removing it, and then on railroad and commercial between 4th and 5th. And then hopefully get that asphalt put back in. They're also doing concrete now down on the commercial street between 5th and 6th and getting that ready for curb gutter. Water infrastructure's gone in on that road last week, so hopefully we can get it all taken care of and paved back before snow flies.
That would be fantastic, because when the snow flies, there'll be a snowflake festival, and that's another premier event for downtown Elko. Is there any word, since we are talking about the downtown, on the Stockman's parking lot pavement? Is that still a project out there, or?
I think it's on the back burner. That was a project working with the Stockmans.
Is it their? It's their lot entirely.
It's their lot. They own that lot,
and that's so pricey.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so if you frequent the Stockmans, maybe you can help pave the parking lot in the future. Another reason to shop and support locally. They have a restaurant, and I know we had a friend come in Well, in fact, the girls stayed at the Stockmans because it was rodeo time and they wanted to hang out where the cowboys are. And so so they had a good old time at Stockmans. And
Well, that's good.
yeah, exactly. Kind of getting a taste of the Old West, I guess, in downtown Elko. So that's a pretty good update on some of the RDA things. Oh, I did want to ask about, there's consideration possible conditional acceptance of a subdivision, and I can't recall the Mustang Ridge subdivision.
Mustang Ridge is a townhome subdivision over behind Elko Veterinarian Clinic off of Colt Drive.
That's why we don't see it. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden back there. It's a nice little area. There'll be 19 townhomes on a cul-de-sac street there. That's up for conditional approval.
Nice. And have they started construction then, or?
Most of the public improvements have been completed. So that's what council will be discussing tonight.
Nice. Townhomes. And that's more of a transitional type or affordable housing. Sometimes retirees choose townhomes.
Yeah, they're smaller lots, smaller homes. But hopefully they're well priced and they sell quick, or if they lease them or rent them out. That's always an option. I've noticed some of the other townhome subdivisions are renting their homes instead of selling them. So
yeah, again, good transitional housing. So this item under subdivision is the required certification of the project by the engineer and a maintenance security bond. And so, but looks like progress. So 19 townhomes on that, not quite south side. How do we refer to that?
Well, it's south side of town, I guess. But it's a little infill project, so
it's
on
nice,
an existing lot that was vacant. So yeah, it's a good project for the city.
Have to drive over and check that one out. So it's called Mustang Ridge. That'll be on the council agenda for today's meeting at 4:00.
That's right.
Cool. So we do have some news about the city swimming pool. We're still marching closer to opening for the new pool, the Boys and Girls Club's Nevada Gold Mines Recreation Center and swimming pool. That's not till January, but in the meantime, you got some notes.
Yeah, we have a couple upcoming pool closures. One's over Labor Day from August 30th to September 1st, and then over Thanksgiving, there will be one from November 27th through the 30th that we wanted to make the public aware of. And then in January, hopefully the new pool opens and we can transition into the new facility with the Boys and Girls Club.
Exciting. Yeah.
The pool would close.
The old indoor pool.
The indoor pool would close.
Yeah. We still have an outdoor pool, and that's going to transition probably in. Well, and I understood too, the Boys and Girls may lease the existing old indoor pool for a different use.
That's correct. We possibly will have an agenda item coming back on meeting in October for that lease agreement with the Boys and Girls Club for the existing facility. So they do plan to use that as much as they can. So.
Oh, great. So the whole complex will be, because then you don't lose that little bit of vintage, I guess.
Yeah, and there's some work they're going to have to do to bring that pool up to standards.
And we'll get good news, I guess, from Nikki, our pool manager. She's been our Elko City pool manager for a long time, Dale.
Yeah, she's going to be giving a little update on the pool tonight at the council meeting during reports. So I look forward to that and seeing what she has to say.
Yeah, we really appreciate all the work that she's done. Of all the city departments, well, I shouldn't say all, but certainly seen a lot of changes and has just gone through all the ups and downs,
yep,
right?
She's been at the pool for close to 30 years.
Oh, I didn't want to say, but Nikki, I feel ya. I know what you're, so we appreciate her.
She's done a great job over there, so.
Yeah, she really has. So we'll look forward to Nikki's update during the regular council meeting. And then we have some there's a new thing coming up.
Well, there's a new thing called First Tuesday. That's a new program that our new police chief, Kyle Ward, is promoting. Looks like a pretty cool activity on October 7th from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Elko Regional Airport. It's the main focus for this event is Halloween safety, but it's they got quite the agenda. They have a welcome and purpose of First Tuesday, so Mr. Ward will be going over the goals and of the event and things like that. They'll have introductions from the collaborating departments, community, business, and schools acknowledgments. Then they'll go into the Halloween safety tips for families. They'll do a community Q&A session, and then they'll wrap up and conclude, but they will have interactive displays, giveaways, and refreshments during the event.
Wow, that's great. Everything you want to know about law enforcement.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty cool event.
So October's first Tuesday focus will be on Halloween safety, yet you will be treated to a team of rescuers, law enforcement, EMS, fire.
It's
Great.
going to be a pretty new event, and be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yep, that's October 7th is the date for that. And the location will be at the Elko Regional Airport. So they're in the main terminal area?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. From 5 until 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yeah,
yep.
right around there.
Yeah.
That looks great. Okay, we'll look forward to hearing those presentations. Everybody is invited to be there for that.
That's right. That's a community event, so if you're available, I would stop by and check it out.
All right, so we'll be reminding folks of that. And what else you got on your list here?
October is also Fire Prevention Month. On October 9th, the fire department will be holding an open house from, I believe it is.
Oh, wait, I have 5 to 7 on that
PM
one. Yes, okay.
At Station 1, so.
And that replaces the previous picnic in the park because the weather didn't cooperate in October. Imagine that. So, yeah.
But it's a good place to have an open house. And
it is. The kids love
prevention.
to see all the gear. Yeah.
Yep, and the trucks and
Mm-hmm. And to meet all the firefighters and from preschoolers to parents, and everybody is invited. This event gets a lot of support for good reason. Yeah. So
fire prevention is important.
Yes. Dale, thank you. It looks like we got to a lot of things. Again, the council meets in regular session at 4 o'clock today. You can follow along online, elkocitynv.gov. There are links to a streaming of the meeting, and then again, and I always love the reports at the end because that's when you get really good details about things that are coming up. Because the department heads know what's going on.
Yeah, and each of them do a great job in their departments, and they, like you said, they know what's going on, and they know it before it happens, and they can let everybody else know. Yep.
So it's our city government, your involvement and encouragement and your questions, all of that is welcome and encouraged. This is a very transparent government, and believe me, I've been covering government for a long time in this community, so it's pretty transparent. And if there's something that's not, you can always let us know. We can find out. We'll look into it, right?
Yep, that's why we do these radio shows every week, and if there's something somebody needs to know that doesn't know about, you can always make public comment at the city council meeting or come to City Hall and speak to one of us.
That's right. We have our elected representatives. They govern the city, and the staff takes direction from them. So our mayor and our 4 council members. So that'll be 4 o'clock this afternoon. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today.